Hello folks and welcome back to Medieval Total War. I am Conostep and this is going to be part 16 of my early campaign where I'm playing as the Byzantines. And yeah, things are still in a situation where I am literally the only faction that is at war right now. It's just me. I'm up against the Hungarians and the Germans and the French. Now, the French Crusade is on its way out. There's there's just like 100 men left in this crusade. And yeah, hopefully a couple more turns before it's gone. That'd be nice. And then once that crusade is gone, I can remove my ships from any sea regions that are bordering French territories and get that auto ceasefire, which would be nice because then we can go back to trading with the French. Hopefully, that would be nice. Also, it's going to be really interesting to see what happens when this crusade fails because their king has low influence. 3 influence. Things could really start to shake up here if we get a civil war in the French. That'd be really interesting. And the Germans as well. Their crusade's a little bit better off. They have over 700 men left, but still, just like the French, they have a new emperor. And again, 3 influence for the Germans as well. And that could really shake things up. If we get the two, giant superpowers of Central and Western Europe that end up having civil wars, that could get really fun. Very fun indeed. For me, that is. Because with me, everything is pretty good. Even with the fact that I'm at war with 3 factions, and even though the French, even like their little annoying boats, this boat right here is able to cut off trade to all of these regions up here. They're not able to make money because of this one annoying little French boat that I will continuously try to kill. Just forever and ever and ever. Let's see if we can catch them. And even with that, even with that trade being blocked off, I'm still making almost 10 grand, which is pretty goddamn good. And I'm sitting on 145,000, which also feels very, very good. So things are going well for me, despite, the fact that things do feel stagnant in the world. And despite the fact that I am the only faction that is at war with anyone, it still feels like things are going pretty well for me. I am able to work on my economy and I am working on my military infrastructure as well. And yeah, that all feels pretty good because I'm getting some good troops out now. I'm getting some Varangian Guards that are trained up here in Constantinople, and I'm working on eventually being able to train my cataphracts here as well. Greece just got the ability to start training Varangian Guards, so let's get that going here. And let's see, we can also just start building an armor and a church for that extra morale. Make my Varangian Guards trained up there even better. And the fact that it does take these guys 2 turns to be trained, I do want to get this going in as many provinces as possible. I do also want to work on that here in Georgia, and I'm getting there. I think I'm 2 more Spearmakers buildings away before I can train for Varangian Guard here. I think that's the case. So yeah, we're getting there, and I am sort of pausing my training on most other types of troops. My Spearmen, my Archers, my... what else? I'm not really training any Byzantine infantry right now either. I am training my Pronoia Legion, my medium cav unit here in Nicaea with that sweet +1 valor bonus that I can get from this province. And yeah, let's start bringing these units out. This group can go to Serbia. And I think I'm getting that Master Horse Breeder for that +1 valor. Yeah, that should be pretty good. So it's going to be +2 valor for all of my Pronoia Legion trained up here in Nicaea. That's going to be really nice. Really nice indeed. Let's see, I am training spies here in Lesser Armenia, which feels good. My goal is to first put a spy in every single one of my provinces to help boost the loyalty in my province. Just to try to make sure that I don't have any issues with loyalty ever. I never want to see it. I just never want to see that happen. So other than that, yeah, like I said, I'm not training Trebizond archers for the time being. Their upkeep is super high. I just wanted to take a break from that. It's like 52 florins a turn on upkeep for them, but I'm still building, buildings that will boost my Trebizond archers when the time comes. In this instance, I'm building that monastery for an additional +1 morale, and I think that will let me build a reliquary for an additional +2 morale, not an additional +2 in addition to this. It'll just be like an additional +2 total in that building chain. A little confusing, but there you go. Yeah, and in Bulgaria, I'm almost able to start training the Bulgarian brigands which is that archery unit. So I need to build that citadel, and then I need to build an archery building, and that should be good. And in Serbia, I just wanted to make it better, like a better place for better spearmen, since I only have access to my tier 1 spearmen for the campaign for the Byzantines. I want to make them as good as I can. So by getting some good armors buildings and some good morale buildings, that should make these units a bit more, pack a little bit of a better punch. I think Naples was eventually going to work on... I'm building farmland here, which indicates that I wanted another province to train something. Oh, yes. I think what I was going to do was yes, right. Because I get that +1 valor bonus for Pronoi Elegion here in Nicaea, I don't want to build an armory here just in case I need those units to be able to fight in the desert. So I will be able to also train them here with an armor, and I can essentially retrain them, take them from Nicaea and then retrain them in Naples so that they can get that sweet armor bonus as well for any of those medium cav units that I want to actually fight in Europe itself. So that's going to be the play there, and it's going to be, it's a real ways off. I don't even have a single horse building, so I need to get the improved farmland before I can build the basic farm, or the horse farmer. Yeah. Yes. And basically my econ buildings, or econ provinces like Antioch and Tripoli and Egypt, they're all essentially just working on the citadel so that they can eventually get that master merchant, which is that last tier up merchant building, I'm pretty sure. And I pretty much have priests in every mainland province, I think. So now I'm just putting priests on the islands, and that will be good. I think that'll be, I think I can see everything now, it feels great. I love it. I love being able to see everything. And yeah, as I mentioned, it's been pretty stagnant, like the only faction that's like really taking advantage of this is the Novgorods, the Russians. They have this massive empire up here, but probably still not strong enough to withstand the Mongol invasion. The fact that they haven't even taken Khazar, and I don't mean that like laughingly, because this is kind of a decent, triple stack here in Khazar, and then even Volga Bulgaria as well is kind of spicy. Like, and do they have to attack into a river? No, they do not. What about here? So they would be attacking into a river if they attacked from Muscovy. So they should bring these forces down from Muscovy to Ryazan and then attack into Volga Bulgaria. And then what about Pereslavl? Is this? No, but if they... No. Okay, so no, then that's fine. But yes, if they attacked from Kiev into Khazar, they would have to cross a river. What about Crimea? Not Crimea. Okay, interesting. All right. So they have options. There's ways of taking these provinces without, making it hard on themselves. But yeah, we'll see. I'm not. Unfortunately, I don't have faith, but I hope they prove me wrong. That would be pretty sweet. How's our king doing? Foreign influence? Yeah. Nothing too crazy there. So yeah, I think other than that, I was excited to be able to start building my tier 3 boats. It's funny, I don't have all of these things memorized yet. I got the compass, the compass event, which to me indicated that I could start building the boats that can go into the deep sea regions, like the Western Mediterranean and the Central Mediterranean and the Atlantic Ocean. Those are the 3 deep sea regions on this map. And they would allow me to do things like bypass this boat, for instance, right? Because I have boats, in the North Atlantic and the Irish Sea and the North Sea and all this, but it doesn't matter. The fact is, if we take a look at this again, this disconnects this. Because I don't have boats in the Atlantic, I can't connect this to the Irish Sea or the North Atlantic. And that's problematic, obviously. I could be making an extra $5,000 or something like that. So it's a bit, it's like an extra $4,000 or $5,000 if I was making trade off of these northern ports. The fact that I can't get deep sea boats yet. So I was looking it up before I started recording, and because I did build that second boat building, the dockyard is the second one, right? Yeah, I think it is. And I still can't build my 3rd tier boat, right? So I was looking at it and it said that I needed to wait till the hype period, which doesn't start till the year 1205. Okay, well, I can wait for that. And then I was looking at it, and I was looking at what my third tier boat was going to be. I knew it was going to be the fire galley, but I wanted just to take a peek at it. My source says that the fire galley is only a coastal ship, meaning it's not a deep sea ship. Now that can't be true. That cannot be true. And it's in fact all of the boats available to the Byzantines, according to the internet source that I was looking at, were all claimed to be coastal only ships. And that just cannot be real. That would be such an enormous disadvantage for the Byzantines to try to maintain a healthy, trade economy throughout their campaign. That just would be such a disadvantage that it just can't be true. I don't think it can be true. I played this campaign. I feel like I would have remembered that. I didn't play that. I mean, I don't know. Maybe played it a year ago, maybe. And I don't remember that being the case. So if you have knowledge of this, I would really like to hear you either confirm or deny this, because that's terrifying. That's really shitty. From what I saw, it's only essentially like the boats that end in galley. So like there's a fire galley. It's like a galley, but it has Greek fire catapults. And then there's a war galley. A war galley is like a fire galley, but it has more Greek fire catapults. Not too inventive, right? Like apparently, according to the game developers, the Byzantines never really developed boats with cannons on them. I don't know how true that is, but that's just kind of the direction that they went with developing and designing this game. I do know that the Byzantines were, in decline, so yeah, maybe. I don't know. But, the notion that the Byzantines didn't or weren't building boats that could cross these deep sea regions, it seems a little bit not real. So I really hope that's not the case, because that would have huge repercussions. Being able to cut off a region like this with a boat by a nation that literally has one boat in the entire game, which is the French. And it's a boat that's a coastal only boat. And to use a tier 1 coastal boat to cut off, trade of, I would call myself the most powerful faction in the campaign right now. It just seems like an insane thing. So yeah, I hope that's not real. Oh yeah, and I thought that this would be a good time to mention something very important, because I know that sometimes the controls in this game can seem somewhat elusive to certain folks. So in case you don't know, you actually can use the mouse wheel to scroll through these lists. I'm just poking fun actually at one of my viewers who didn't know that you could use a mouse wheel to scroll through lists. So yeah, sorry about that. I had to. I know I was just being cheeky there, but hey, if you didn't know, now you know. God. Oh man, I should not have a YouTube channel. That's might have been a mistake I made, but you know what? I'm having fun. So I thought it'd also be a decent time for me to mention that I'm hoping that my king does survive for another 3 years, because that's when Prince Alexius does become of age. So come on, man, you got this. 3 more years. Emperor Michael VIII, I believe in you. Speaking of which, so like, this is also worth keeping an eye on. Yeah, it's interesting. So he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8 influence, and it's interesting because we all know that influence is based on taking territories, right? It's one of those. It's a game that like rewards you for taking territories, and in some ways there's been a discussion amongst the gamers, the fans of this game, throughout the decades. And not a discussion that I've been a part of, because I only started recently playing this game, but it's something that I've read a lot of these archived discussions of what exactly influence does, and it is something that I've sort of brought up here and there throughout my campaigns so far in this game. And one of the ideas is that the influence of the king or the emperor or the caliph or whatever, at the time of someone becoming of age, one of the heirs becoming of age, does determine that heir's stats. Now, I think that there may be some truth to that. However, there's other things that I don't know. it's interesting that I haven't expanded in quite a while, right? I took Egypt, and that, that was it. I got rid of the Turks and the Egyptians, and I took Egypt, and that's kind of it. And it's going to be that way for a while. So it's going to be really interesting to keep an eye on this throughout this campaign and see, how does my emperor's influence, go? Does it hold out? Does it stay okay? Or is it going to plummet? And yeah, that's going to be something I'm really interested to keep an eye on. The thing is, and I know this is pretty controversial because I feel like, I don't know. Here's the thing. Coming from Shogun, I know that the heirs, the stars that the heirs get is a hard-coded thing. And of course, that's the same with the daimyos as well. It's hard-coded. It does not change. When you start up a campaign with a faction and a certain, certain timeline, it's going to be the same. It's going to be the same amount of stars. And that's also the same for the unannounced generals, the historical generals, the ones that just kind of pop up and they have 3 stars and you're like, oh, hey, who's that? And if you know anything about the history of that time period, you might recognize their name. If you don't, and if you look up, for instance, even like a 1-star general, if you look up that name of that 1-star general in Shogun, sometimes you'll see the name of like a retainer, like a samurai that fought, maybe not for that clan, but for a clan that fought that clan in that area. And it kind of indicates like, oh, hey, maybe they actually did that on purpose and looked them up. And it's interesting. They clearly hard-coded this, and they clearly made this an actual, hard-coded thing in Shogun. And I'm very tempted to believe that in this game, certain factions, I don't think that the beginning traits, I can't remember, I feel like I've looked at this before. The stats, yes, but I feel like the traits are kind of a grab bag for the beginning. This would be easy enough to test. Gosh, I can't remember. I'm not sure about the traits for this, but I'm tempted to believe that there's a certain gravitation towards, certain stats that are higher in some factions than the others. That's just my gut telling me this. There's been so much discussion amongst the archives of the Byzantine generals and how good they are. And I don't think that that's depended on how much land you conquer. I don't think it is. And of course, we can find out throughout this campaign. I very easily could be wrong here. There's those of you who are watching this channel who have literally been playing this game for decades. And, you clearly have a certain idea of how, what you've experienced, right? Sometimes though, I think that folks can get stuck in a certain way of thinking and then they don't consider all other alternatives as well. So, it goes either way. Obviously, I want to hear your opinion on things, but part of this is going to come down to let's watch this campaign and see how things develop. Because I just think that I don't know. I've heard that other factions just tend to get crappy stats, and maybe that's a real thing. Maybe the Italians get good acumen, or because they're a trader, they're the people that traded. I don't know. I don't know. But maybe that's something that CA did, and that kind of makes sense to me, just based on what they did with Shogun. So, obviously the stats are a lot more complex in this game than Shogun, but still, as I said, this is more of a gut feeling than anything, but we can keep an eye on it. In 3 years, we will take a look at my son, who will be, my heir of this faction, and we will see how he matches up to his dad, and of course that's not the entire test, right? The test also just goes to see further more how things develop, right? 50 years from now, are my emperors looking pretty bad? All right, well, then I can eat crow, right? Because then I'm clearly wrong. Aha, yes, here we go. The Sicilians are back, baby. And this makes me happy. In fact, holy shit. It looks like, did they just take over Malta? They didn't even take back Sicily. Did they? Oh, Yes, they did. Okay, I'm seeing a tiny little Sicilian army here in Sicily itself. Yeah, because one rebel province is joining the revolt. Yeah, that's good. You know, now we can trade with them. Yeah. So how's my income? Only 10 grand, but I think I must be. Yeah, this frickin' French boat is just seriously, it's just so annoying. Like, it just won't die. Oh god. But yeah, anyway, yeah, that should be good. That should be good being another, is that 2 boats? No, it's not. But yeah, that should be good being able to trade with a few more ports there. And I wanted to double up here and make sure I have enough boats here in the Baltic, just to again make sure now that the Novgorods are getting some boats in the water here in the Baltic. How's the Black Sea? Nope, Black Sea is still Novgorod free. But I just, this is a lesson I've learned, is that just to not give other factions an excuse to attack you. Look at these provinces where they have boats in the water and double up or triple up or whatever. Make sure you have more boats than theirs, just to not give them a reason, like just make it so that they don't, they're like, oh no, we'll lose that fight, so let's not do that. So that's going to be the key there. And here is Prince Alexius. He has now come of age. Thank goodness. So the emperor has lived long enough to see his son come of age. And let's see, we got some buildings being finished. Prince Alexius, what do you got? Okay. All right, you're a drinker. Okay, that's not a good start. Oh, -1 command. But killer instinct. So, I mean, if you're going to be a drinker, at least you have killer instinct. That's a good combination. +2 valor, +1 dread. So yeah, he's going to be a good fighter. And he can help cow the populace in regards to population loyalty. Okay, that's fine. We can look at his other stats in a second here. Let's see, great builder. That's always good. Alexius focus, often drunk. It doesn't look like you are a lord, so it doesn't matter. Keep an eye on you. Lord Ophinotrophus, gentle knight. Ooh, +3 morale, -3 dread. So that, is bad because he's a governor, right? He's a gentle knight. And that means he's going to be worse as a governor with that -3 dread. The fact that he's getting +3 morale, well, I don't think this guy's an actual general. He might have a star to his name, but I don't think he doesn't appear to be someone that I actually have leading one of my armies just based on the fact that he's only a 1-star general. But in any case, let's take a look at Prince Alexius. So what do you got? 3-star general, not bad. And yeah, loyalty is good. Dread, 5 acumen, killer instinct, and yeah. So the traits suck. The stats themselves look very, very decent. I feel like I've seen way worse with other factions. So we can continue to keep an eye on that, right? We will know more once he's the actual emperor himself. And we can keep an eye on his influence and see if that changes, I guess, or if it, really seems really diminished, again, based on the fact that I'm not conquering and taking territories. So we can keep an eye on that. Now that I do have my young prince, let's see if I can find a wife for him. It doesn't seem like it's been going very well in regards to finding wives for my people. It seemed like I could manage it for the first couple of times, but now not so much. So are there any princesses to factions that I'm not at war with? Here's an Italian. So let's get my emissaries. I've just been hanging out here in Constantinople waiting to be called on. Oh, merry men, here we go. Yeah, let's find some wives for Prince Alexius. Should I just keep like doubling up and talking to the Italians, or should I find someone else? Surely there's other princesses and not just princesses of... Oh, okay, yeah, here's a Danish one. Yes. And, yeah, there's like Hungarians and Germans and French, and I just already know what those answers are going to be, so... Not really going to waste my time with that. I mean, unless there's no other thing for me to waste my time doing. Alright, fine. Let's go talk to the Hungarians. let's go see what they have to say. Ah, yes, another heir has matured. Prince Andronicus, here we go, man. Check you out in a second and see how you are doing. And yeah, no one wants me to marry their princesses. That's a shame. Yet the Hungarians, the Germans, nah. They say nah. Alright, princess. Alright, so we got a drunk and we got a chinless wonder. Ay, ay, ay. So yes, -1 command and -1 acumen. And then he's also a natural leader though. So +2 morale, +1 loyalty. Okay. That's confusing. That's interesting. Now that I think of it, how's your stats? Okay, yeah, your stats are fine. It's just that they're gonna get worse. It's gonna start off as a chinless wonder, and then it's gonna end up as like a, what does it go, like odd number of toes, and there's a few others. Like it just all of the inbred line, and it gets bad. You know, it's like -3 acumen, -1 command. And now that I think of it, is that the same, the same vice progression as the drinker? Because we also know drinkers get worse too. You know, it goes from like drinker to, we just got a drinker. Who is it? You? Are you the drinker? I feel like we just had a drinker, and I wasn't paying enough attention. Man, are you the drinker? Often drunk. So this one doesn't seem as bad. I think it started off as -1 command for just a drinker. We can double check that. So this guy is in Antioch, and Prince Alexius drinker. So just -1 command. So then the next level is to become often drunk, which is -1 command, -1 acumen, and then it goes from there. So yeah, I guess just based on that, it seems like the drinking line isn't as bad as the inbred line, but that's also something that could be kept an eye on, I suppose, with my own 2 sons. You know, see which one turns off worse. But hey, the stats are fine. It's just too bad that they're not going to stay that way. You know, that's a bad that's a bad ring up. You know, on two in a row, 2 sons in a row. Do I have any more on the way, or is that it? Is that it for the line? Ah, well, that's it. Oh well. But yeah, the emperor himself, he's 60, so he's gonna croak in a year now, and that should give Prince Alexius enough time to get married and start a family. And it's gonna be interesting to see how his influence is once that happens. What do I want my second command, or my second son, Prince Andronicus? Does it really matter? I don't think it really matters. I can put him in Georgia, because he's not going to be the leader. Prince Nikephoros, with his 4 loyalty, is still going to be the leader. Although he only has, it's just him. He needs his unit to be retrained. So I need to be able to get that going here. And I completely forgot. Can I do that here in Constantinople? No, damn. I started building this cathedral, and I completely forgot that I was going in the direction of cataphracts here. God damn it. I mean, the cathedral's a good building, and it's going to give me +3 morale for my troops that are trained here. What building did I need to get for the cataphracts? I suppose the horse building. Yeah, that would make sense. Maybe it will show me here. Does this? No, it's not going to show me. Is this going to show me? Nope, it's not going to show me. Huh, yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what building I need to get the cataphracts going now. Okay, so I need a horse breeders guild and an armorers guild. Okay. So I get the armorers guild. Now I just needed to go from, yeah, I just needed 3 horse buildings. Gosh darn it. Okay, well, 16 years, fucking Christ. All right, it's going to be another 12 years before the cathedral's finished. God damn. That was a blunder. All right, whatever. It's a good building. I want cataphracts. Whatever. Let's kill her out of spite. Princess Hedwig. Yep, well, let's, just won't mention it. How about that? We just won't talk about it. Oh dear. And it has finally happened for the French. King Louis VI is now down to 1 influence, and yes, the French Crusade has failed. It's weird that you don't get like a message that the crusade has failed. The crusade that was launched against one of your territories. It seems like they should have added a little message there. But you know, I digress. How's loyalty looking? So like 0 loyalty on this guy. Okay. That's okay. Just want to take a peek. Yeah, 2 loyalty on this guy. 5-star general, one of the family members actually. So that seems might be problematic. So yeah, I'm seeing some potential so far. How about we get up here, see what we can see. He looks okay. He looks okay. He looks okay. I see 2 stacks that might go rebel or at least cause the civil war. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. We will keep an eye on that. And he is 49, so he's not quite death age yet. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. And how about the German Crusade? They are down to 500 men left. Okay, so it's gonna still be quite a while before they go bye-bye. How much longer does their... He's 41, so gosh, I really hope that crusade does fail. Well, this 3 influence emperor is still alive. Princess Hedwig has now been removed from the equation. Maybe that'll send a little bit of a signal, or a little bit of a signal to her sisters. It's all about the implication. It's all about the implication. And let's see. Yes, we're also killing bishops. You know, it's not just about the princesses. We're killing the men of God as well. Speaking about God, it looks like I'm getting boats sunk here, so maybe I'm being punished for that. Church has been finished here in Nicaea. Horse beaters finished here in Naples, and Citadel in Bulgaria. Yes, now I can finally get that bow building that allows me to train the Bulgarian brigands. I'm almost there. I'm getting there. Lord Vatazes, silver-tongued. +2 acumen, -3 dread. So a bit more money out of his province, whatever that province is. And then, yeah, Lord Califates, always drunk. -2 command, -1 acumen. So, yeah, it gets bad. It's a bad disease. Now my emperor has finally died. And it's going to be time now to take a peek at Prince Andronicus. Now, Emperor Andronicus, or Alexius? Alexius, sorry, Emperor. Forgot your name. Master Merchants finished here in Tripoli, so that's going to be that top-tier merchant building, making me some sweet, sweet cash. Castles finished here in Arabia. I think I wanted to work up so that I had another province that can train spies, so that's that. And yeah, another Master Merchant is finished here in Antioch. And let's see, anything here. Lord Comnenus, Prince Andronicus. Yeah, odd number of toes. Yeah, that sucks. -2 acumen, -2 command. That's a bad one. Yeah, that's a bad one. Just keep you in Georgia. Yeah, he's just going to get worse and worse. That's a real bummer. Yeah, he's already down to 2-star general and 3 acumen, but he's still loyal enough. So, all right, how's my influence? That looks okay, doesn't it? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That looks okay. You know? So I don't know. I don't know what to think. I don't know what to think about. You know, obviously, as far as experiments go, it's not concluded. You know, there's still things to consider. But yeah, as far, you know, that's looking okay. Now let's just get this guy married, and let's get him to start having some children as well. Let's see. Do I want him on the front lines guarding? I mean, he's still like he's like a decent option for a general. And then, yeah, I think I'm down to, this is my 3rd captain now for this unit that was once led by Prince Manuel. And then I just saw a familiar name, which was Prince Manuel's apprentice who took over his unit. He just passed away in that last intern. And now we have Lord Paleologus. He's going to be the third person taking over such an impressive stat line. It's, you know, my best general now in my entire realm. Yeah, 9-star general. Awesome stuff. Defending my borders. And yeah, let's bring up my emperor. He's sitting pretty good. He has some silver. He has a nice silver shield upgrades as well. which is pretty sweet. And the fact that he's a 3-star general is still good. The fact that he's, you know, often drunk is not good. It's going to get worse for him. He will go down to a 2-star general at some point, but well, what can you do? Okay, so the French king has died from an illness now. Huh. I'm curious to see how the new king is looking here. Let's see. So, catching assassins here in Naples, always fun stuff. Catching assassins in Serbia, always fun stuff. And yeah, monastery is finished for that boost to my troops' morale here in Serbia. Awesome. Spearmakers Guild's finished here in Georgia. I think that will allow me to now train Varangian Guard here. Citadel finished on Armenia, so now I can build that 4th tier trade building here. And anything else? Let's see. No principles, minus 50% to bribery cost. That's not good. Anything else? Nothing too important there. Alright, let's check out the new French king. Yeah, I was really disappointed to see that there was no civil war there. So the new king is looking okay. Yeah, 4 acumen, 5 command, 3... Or, sorry, 4 influence, 5 command, 3 acumen, 3 dread. Yeah, that's too bad. Plus, he's zealous. Plus 20% zeal when governing. So if his governors are relying on their piety to keep their population in check, that's going to help out with that. And he is gluttonous, so that is going to take away some happiness because he's eating too much, and his peasants are starving. So there is that to take into consideration. But that's going to be countered by the builder trait, which is giving plus 10 happiness. So he's old though, 52. He's getting up there. So who would be next? Like, who's the next Frenchie to take over once that dude bites the dust? Let's take a little peek-see here. We have a couple guys up here, up way north, in Northumbria actually. Yeah, 48-year-old Prince Honore, and yeah, 2-star general. Nothing fancy, but you know, he's loyal. And then Prince Felipe as well. So there's no young bucks out. These must just all be the brothers of the old king. So yeah, it's too bad we couldn't get a civil war out of that. Oh man, it felt so close. It felt like that was a close call. And I'm feeling also like this crusade's not going to fail before this emperor dies either, which is also unfortunate. Yeah, that's too bad. So going forward, I mean, so here's the deal. The next time the French launch a crusade, whether it's again... Oh, shit, I completely forgot about getting that automatic ceasefire with them, which I can do, like, 5 turns ago. Shit, yeah. God damn it. Okay. Let's do that. So this province is fine because it's not bordering any French province. Let's do that. I've been fighting this. I've been trying to fight this same French boat for goddamn ever, for fucking eons. So let's move up here. Let's move up to the Norwegian Sea, and then the North Atlantic should be fine. Let's move out of the Irish up here to the North Atlantic. And then I think at that point we just have to move these boats out of the North Sea next turn, and that should be good enough to get us that auto ceasefire. Hopefully, yeah, I think so. And you know, I would normally bemoan the fact that I'd be losing trade by doing this, but in this case, this fucking boat's just been blocking my, you know, for like a while. It's like, all right, I'll get you eventually, but no, I've not caught this boat. Naval warfare is so frustrating in this game. It's the thing, man. I try to be patient sometimes with, you know, the things. You know, it's funny playing these older games. Maybe it's because I haven't been spoiled by the newer Total War games. But you can talk about like the camera angles with the controls and the interface, and you know how tedious it can be to like organize the armies, and the fact that it's not organized for you, and blah blah. You know, the thing is, it always comes down to the aspects of the game that are the most vague, and it's stuff like that's the stuff that really gets me. Like, you know, you can go on the internet and find out the stats for units and memorize things and practice matchups and all that stuff. But when it comes down to the naval warfare and then you just can't kill a freaking boat for like, you know, how many turns have been trying to kill this French boat, that's when it starts to feel kind of dumb. You know, that's the dumb part. That's the part that makes you, you know, like, oh, it's a video game. It's not that, but that part's not fun, you know? And I'm sure like every game has that. For Shogun, my least favorite part of Shogun was the river battles. You know, it's just, it was so not fun to play those because there's essentially only one way to play them if you want to be able to win those battles. And it's just so tedious to do the same strategy over and over, you know, and they didn't minimize it as well. It's like they accentuated the fact that you would get to fight river battles in Shogun. You know, they could have hidden that part of the game and made it a very small part of the game, but they didn't. You know, so it's unfortunate because I feel like to me, the naval warfare aspect of this game is Medieval's version of the river battles in Shogun, where it's hugely prominent, right? It's a hugely prominent part of the game. It matters. It really matters. And I like that. I like that it matters. I like that having naval supremacy is important, not just for trade, because it allows you to reach out and touch other people, you know, really like, you know, for instance, going forward, next time someone wants to launch a crusade against me, I can immediately, because I have vision everywhere. I have priests, my little priests, every single province, right? I can see immediately where that crusade comes from, and I can say, Aquitaine, they have a chapter house. It came from here. I can launch an attack in Aquitaine and destroy that chapter house immediately, and that automatically, right there, it crushes the crusade. It's a failed crusade, and that can cause of course, an influence hit on the king. So yeah, naval supremacy is hugely important. But it's just like, you know, it's hard to accomplish sometimes when you don't know what the rules are, right? Like, let's keep going with this because you'd think I'm done ranting. So I know that this boat has a speed of 3, and I think what that means is that if my boats also have a speed of 3, they should be able to catch it. Well, my drill mines have a speed of 4, right? So does that mean, and I'm afraid that what I'm about to say is true, but does that mean that since my fleet is a mixed boat fleet of galleys, which is with a speed of 4 and drill mines with a speed of, galleys with a speed of 2 and drill mines with a speed of 4, does that mean they're just going to move at the speed of the slowest boat and therefore they will never catch a boat with a speed of 3? As long as this boat tries to move out of the region in the same turn that I try to attack it, will my boats never catch it? So does that mean what I need to do is separate my drill mines from my fleet so that we can catch this boat and stop it from running away from us? If so, then what's the point of having these like big strong boats that can, you know, like, you know, better stats, but like they're not as fast? What's the point of them? Like, drill mines should suck, but if speed really is like just the trump card on the water and that's it, you know, like what's the point? Because I know very little about naval warfare, but you know, it seems like the point of having smaller boats was so that you could have a bit more, I don't know, maneuverability within your fleets, right? You know, having you know, bigger boats with, you know, higher attack and whatever, that is important, but then having a bit of, you know, control as well, and having different types of boats work together to accomplish the same goal of achieving, you know, victory on the seas seems like that might have been a real thing. So why have a fleet that just suffers from being stacked with the same boat that has slower speed? Like, why? Like, why is this? Why can't they just, I don't know, fucking work together? It's just, yeah, it's just, I don't like it. I don't like it. You know? And I think this was told to me. I think one of my viewers did say that it's true that, yeah, the speed, you know, if it's higher than the boat, then you can catch it. If it's lower than the boat, it can't catch it. And it's just, okay, sweet. So I just have to wait for it to not move. Or I just split my boat off and just use my drill mines. Sweet. Then what's the point of the galleys? Like, what's the point of these galleys? You know? And what's the point of these other boats? Once I start getting bigger boats in the water that have higher attack stats, then why? Like, who cares at that point? If one boat, for a nation that only has one boat in the water, can disrupt my trade for over a decade, you know, what was the point? And then, you know, what's the point then if I'm fighting against the Byzantines and they have a bunch of these Dromons in the water, then what do I do against that? If the Dromon's the fastest ship in the game, then what do I do against it? What's the counter? Nothing? Just wait for the AI to forget to move its boat? You know, it's really dumb, isn't it? It's really, really dumb. And I suppose a lot of this is, you know, you can work around it once you do have boats in the deep sea regions, and then you can just kind of counter these smaller boats that can only stick to the coastal regions. But if what I saw was true, then I don't have access to any deep sea boats in this campaign. I don't think that's true, though. I really, really don't think that's true. I'm gonna be so pissed off if that's true. Oh gosh. Anyway, there's my rant. Had to get that one out. God damn it, motherfuckers! Who just started a war with me? The Sicilians or the Italians? I mean, the good news is I won the battle, but who the fuck? So was the Sicilians. Okay. Well, god damn it. I was happy that I got them back into existence, and now I might have to go back and crush some motherfuckers because that was not, you know, what I wanted. I didn't do this just so I could have another war. But I'm the richest, so huzzah! And yes, I am catching assassins here in Bulgaria. Famine in Armenia, to check on that in a second. And thank God, my king has now gotten married. That is wonderful. How old is he? Not too old, I don't think. 24. Oh, that's a lovely age. Lovely age to get married. And Armenia, it looks like you're fine. Yeah, they're fine. Despite the fact that they're starving to death, they seem pretty content. So yes. So I do. Ooh, 50% chance. Okay. How about we just try? Let's go a little higher. Wow, 3%. A 3-star assassin has a 50% chance of killing. Holy shit! A 5-star inquisitor. Maybe try someone a little bit. Try someone a little on. Yeah. Yeah. Let's do that. Let's work your way up to a 4-star assassin before we take on that guy. That dude's a boss. Alright, do I have that ceasefire with the French yet? What is that? No, I do not. Why? Yeah. It always takes an extra turn, doesn't it? So, yes. Let's, hope that they stay out of the same seas as I am in, so that we can get this ceasefire. Well, we were able to kill some more agents here, and okay, yeah, the Sicilians, man, they're going right for it. Jesus Christ. I did not even think they were going to attack. I didn't even look at their armies. I just assumed, like, yeah, no, Naples is fine. And then, yeah, they freaking they pretended like they were going to attack me, those fucking assholes. Alright, some more, let's see, killing people, awesome, yep, love it. And maybe I can finally train Pro Novae Legion here in Naples. We will have to check on that. Monastery finished here in Nicaea for our another additional +1 morale. Citadel is finished here in Lesser Armenia. I'm trying to get better agents produced here. And yeah, Master Merchant. Let's see how much Odessa's making with the Master Merchant. I'm curious to see if it's going to be worth all the money I just invested. And yeah, Emperor Alexius Builder +1 happiness. Love it. Prince Andronicus. Who's his charm? Okay, so he's a little bit inbred, but you know, he's oh, this is a bad one. -1 dread. Sweet. So he's inbred, but he's lovable. Great. Odessa. Okay, so after all of that, investment into the Citadel and the 4 merchant buildings, it's not didn't even break 1,000. Yeah. I don't know if that was worth the investment, but it's still so early in the campaign. It's not even the year 1200 yet. So maybe that's worth it. I don't know. It's so early. And I'm pretty sure Odessa, along with Armenia and Syria, all get additional trade resources once the Silk Road opens up back again. That does happen pretty late in the campaign, but that'll be something, right? That'll be something. All right, did we get that auto ceasefire with the French? No, we did not. Why the hell not? Why? has that not happened? I can't figure it out. I do not know why the auto ceasefire has not happened yet. Maybe it just needs another turn. I don't know. It always seems like it takes an extra turn than you would think, but I thought that this was the extra turn, so I don't know. Hopefully we can. Hopefully that'll happen though. It'll be nice. Be nice if we can get an auto ceasefire. Because yeah, if we could trade with the French and if we could, you know, not have the French boats blocking our trade routes, holy shit, that would be really something. And another turn goes by and we still don't have a ceasefire with the French. Okay, well, I am kind of stumped at this point. I do not know why I don't have a ceasefire. This is not touching French territory. There's a French boat now in one of my sea regions, so there's that, but like, I don't know, I mean, we didn't have a ceasefire last turn either, and there was no boats, French boats sharing my sea regions. So I don't know. I just, you know, freaking whatever. I do I have to like do this? Just like go back further? I don't know. Just keep, you know, I don't know. Yeah, I'll have to sleep on this one. And I think that it's time for me to call it here because, that's pissing me off. And otherwise, the campaign's going just fine. The campaign is just going just fine. I'm still making just a bajillion dollars, even though that's part stupid. You know, like that's fine. But also still no one's attacking each other. So that part's also dumb. Whatever. I can, you know, I guess at least I have something to do is that I can come up with another army and then just eliminate the Sicilians again. This army is, you know, it's a re-emergence army, so it's going to be a bit better than the last armies that they had. These are now feudal men-at-arms and feudal sergeants and mounted sergeants, so this is going to offer at least a bit of a challenge. So there is that. Yeah, I wonder. I mean, next time that there's a Sicilian re-emergence, so I just need to like put a shit ton of boats in the Straits of Sicily to make sure that we can guarantee that they don't attack us. I don't know. I had 2 boats here. Whatever. I can't keep doing this. I have to turn off the game and do something else. Sleep on it, I guess. Sleep on it, and yeah, we'll leave it at that. So yeah, all in all, despite my grumpy attitude, things are going quite well. So I will be leaving this all for the next episode. As always, I hope you've enjoyed this one, and thank you very much for watching. This has been Conostep playing Medieval Total War. Thank you very much, and goodbye.